All right, let's kick this thing off. I want to thank each of you for showing up tonight. All of you. uh, I know you have busy lives and your time's precious, so I appreciate you uh, taking a little bit of time to come see what we're doing tonight. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Ron Hervey. I am the owner of Cool Harbors Cruise and Travel. I started the business last October, so it's a year old today. So it's our birthday. Uh, Past year, I've been taking classes trying to learn about travel. I've been taking several certification classes to become specialties, and one of those specialties is ocean cruising, which what we're going to be talking about tonight. Ask anybody that's been on a cruise, and chances are they're going to tell you they've had a blast. Then they'll probably tell you about the cruises they've already signed up for. In fact, I looked this up today, and the cruise travel report says that even though these people do land vacations too, people that go on cruises have done an average of 5 cruises. That's how much I guess it gets habit for them. And Michael could tell us about
Yes.
that.
Yes,
Michael knows more about cruising than anybody I know. He's been showing me little tips and tricks, and I've just been fascinated with everything he's shown me. And I sat there and I thought, well, this would be a good thing for my people to hear and see. And that's how come I've asked him to be on here. He's been on 9 cruises on 5 different Carnival ships. He's been to such cool locations as Cozumel, Belize, Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Freeport, Nassau, Key West, and more. In fact, he's fixing to do number 10 here here in about a week, right?
yes.
Uh,
Next week.
yeah, just a few of the excursions that he's been on. He's seen the Mayan ruins. He's been on the Dun River Falls. He's been to a dolphin and a turtle farm and whiskey and rum factories. Uh, and after 9 cruises, he's learned all the tips and tricks to really making your cruise stress free. Uh, if you have any questions, please hold them till the end, and we'll ask the question, or you can ask questions at that point. So without further ado, I'm happy to introduce you to Michael Gott.
Well, hello, and thank you for the awesome introduction, Ron. Um, I just think I've been blessed with taking 9 cruises so far, and love to share um, my experiences with everybody I can because I'm so hooked on cruising. Got a little bit of a dry mouth going on. Basically, um, I don't do public speaking, so I'm not sure how well this will go. Got some things written down here to kind of go on. First thing that really comes to mind for me is when picking out your cruise, just the type of cruise that you're going to go on, um, whether it's going to be a Caribbean cruise or you're going to go on an Alaskan cruise. The only ones that I've been on so far have been Caribbean and Caribbean cruises. So that's basically the types of clothing and the types of things that I'm going to talk about tonight. Um, Basically, if you're going to go on a Caribbean cruise, you're definitely going to have your swimsuit. Um, we do recommend taking at least 2 swimsuits um, because you're going to be in and out of the hot tubs and the pools and different excursions. And nobody that I know of likes getting into a very cold, wet swimsuit to go out and do something after you've just had lunch or a snack. So basically, take one swimsuit to dry as you're wearing the other one, and that works out really well for us. Uh, Buying dresses for the women and different outfits for the guys. Depends on what you want to wear. We like to dress up every night for dinner. Um, So I take my suit and shirts for every night plus ties. That way I can kind of change everything up. You don't have to dress up. Now, specifically, I'm talking about Carnival cruises. A lot of the packing and things uh, you'll be able to interchange with any cruise line, but on Carnival, um, they've got two elegant nights on a 7-day cruise. We always specifically dress up on those, but because we don't dress up very much at all during the week, or during the week ever really, we dress up every night for dinner on the cruises. After dinner, we'll go hit a comedy club or show or both, and then maybe something late night. So we stay dressed up from 6 o'clock on. Um, One of the things about cruise clothing is, since we have gone through so many different cruises, we keep our clothes, our specific cruise clothes, in a particular closet. So when it's time for us to cruise, all we have to do is go to that closet, pull out the clothes, try those on to make sure that we haven't gained or lost weight since the last time we were in them, and send them out to the dry cleaners, and we're ready to rock and roll. We pack our elegant stuff in a garment bag, and the rest, our day-to-day clothes, just go in a regular suitcase. Um, and I'll get to more of that in just a moment. One of the things that you need to make sure of that you have are the proper documents to cruise. Um, if you're going to be on a closed course or a closed loop cruise, as they call it, um, originating out of the United States, going to the Bahamas or the Caribbean, um, and returning back to the United States, you can uh, go with just a birth certificate and your driver's license for ID. You have to make sure that your driver's license is um, in in date. It has not expired. And your birth certificate is an original birth certificate. Um, on Carnival's website, they do state that they don't require an original, but other cruise lines might. You can even take an actual copy uh, of your birth certificate as an original document for Carnival, and they will accept that along with your license. I personally don't like just a license, because if you get out, say you go to Mexico or you're in the Bahamas somewhere down in Jamaica, um, something happens, then uh, you'll want a passport to be able to get back home. Passports are not that expensive. They last for 10 years, and it's much, much easier to travel with a passport than it is just trying to go with a license. So I do recommend that. One thing for the married women out there, um, if your passport or your license has a different name than your birth certificate, what you need to do is, if your passport or if your passport or birth certificate has a different name, or let me try that again. If your last name is different on your passport or license than it is on your birth certificate, it is a good idea for you to take your marriage certificate uh, with you to show that, yes, I am the same person. Here's my marriage license. Um, this is where my name changed. Um,
Michael, I got one question.
okay,
If they don't have anything else, can they go with their driver's license only, or do they have to have that birth certificate?
you have to have birth certificate as well as driver's license.
Okay.
So it's either birth certificate and driver's license and other form of government ID, driver's license being the most prevalent, you either have to have a birth certificate or a passport.
Okay.
Now, if you are under the age of, say, 15, 16, and you don't have a driver's license, you don't have a photo ID, then just a birth certificate is fine. Um, if you're traveling with young children and you are um, divorced, it's a good idea to get a paper drawn up from the other parent saying you do have the right to take the children on a cruise. Because I've seen some people get stuck with that as well. Um, because that brings me down to packing. What most people, most first time cruisers, the mistakes, so to speak, the mistakes that they make are packing way, way, way too much. If you're going on a 7 day cruise, for us anyway, the clothing that you take can be very minimal because you're really not going to be in the clothes that long to get them dirty, to either have to wash them or worry about something getting dirty. Um, we carry pretty minimal stuff. A few pairs of, I think, 4 pair of shorts, um, a pair of jeans, um, 4 or 5 t-shirts, a couple of polo shirts, that type of thing. Or if you're going to different restaurants and you want to dress a little bit nicer, but you don't want to wear a suit, or don't want to wear a long sleeve dress shirt, just slip into a polo, something like that. Most of the time, while I'm in a pair of shorts, just a t-shirt, run down, grab something to eat, and come back, change into my swim shorts, go hit the hot tub, stay there for a couple hours, work up an appetite, um, come in, change into shorts that I was wearing previously, go grab a bite to eat, come back, maybe rest a little bit, and repeat that process. So you're not really in the clothes that much to get dirty, but um, if you don't pack enough and you want to wash clothes, they do have laundry service on board where you can uh, send your stuff out to be cleaned, or they have a washateria on, I believe it's every other floor on board the ships, on board most Carnival ships, and you can go down and do laundry there if you feel like you need to. Um, One of the things that we use exclusively are packing cubes, which are basically small rectangular cubes of material. Um, just lost my train of thought there. Rectangular zippered bags, so to speak, that are made, the larger ones are about 15, 16 inches long and about 9 inches wide, um, and about 2 to 3 inches thick. And they get progressively smaller. So packing in those is a really, really good way to keep your things from sloshing around in your suitcase. You can also keep, if you're packing 2 people to a suitcase, it keeps things from sloshing around inside the suitcase, getting commingled. When you get to the room on the cruise, you basically just pull out your packing cubes, put them on the shelves, unzip them, and you're unpacked. Instead of having to go grab every single piece of um, clothing that you've got in there and sort it all back out. Um, I also recommend for your luggage that you get the plastic luggage tags that are see-through with a grommet and little metal fastener so that you can put your Carnival luggage tags inside those. If you don't have said luggage tags like that, what you end up doing is stapling the paper luggage tags to the outside of your luggage. Most of the time they stay on. I've seen times where they're just barely hanging on by a thread when they drop them off at your room. Um, but we use the reusable ones, and you can get them on Amazon for about $8 or $9 for like a set of 5 or so, uh, and they are completely reusable. We bought ours 4 years ago, and they're still just like brand new. Um, One of the other major things that we always pack with us is a medicine box um, that goes in our carry-on that we take with us. We've got a rolling duffel bag that we basically take all of our quote stuff that's not clothing. The medicine box basically is just a plastic box. Ours is about 12 inches by 9 inches by 3 inches deep, and that is all of our over-the-counter medications, from uh, lidocaine back patches to Band-Aids, um, any type of pain medication, um, the seasickness medication, Dramamine, non-drowsy type. I do recommend non-drowsy versus the regular, because those regular Dramamine, unless you're one tough cookie, it will put you out. So um, on the ship, you can buy different medications. They do have a doctor that you can go see, but in order to keep from having to go incur charges or spend $7 or $8 for an Advil, we recommend just go down to your local everything's a dollar store and pick up one of everything and take it with you. So being out, out in the ocean, 10,000 feet of water below you and nothing in sight but just the ship. When you get a headache or you have a back spasm, you can always just go to your room and pick up what you need. Um, the other thing that we don't live without on board the cruise is a small fan. Um, we take a little 9-inch fan with us. Um, Basically, the rooms are nice and cool. Um, the rooms are nice and cool, but sometimes they do get a little stuffy, and having that fan blowing the air around makes it a lot better. If you do have a balcony room, you can open the door and get some fresh air in, but it's still nice to have a fan in there for the stuffiness, and also um, just to drown out any noises coming from the hallway if there are any. Um, and in order to plug the fan in with your chargers and everything else, with your cell phones and other things, you do need a power strip of some sort. You cannot take, on Carnival anyway, you cannot take a power strip that has a surge strip in it or a surge protector in it. So it has to be just a straight um, power outlet. We've got one that's got 5 outlets on it, has an on-off switch, plugs right into the wall with about a 4-foot cord. There's only one outlet that you can get to in the room, so this makes it really ideal to have the fan plugged in, have a couple of chargers plugged in, or something of that sort. Um, Also, if you take your cameras, we've got our cell phones with us, but if you take a digital camera like a DSLR camera, or um, one with a lens on it, you want to make sure that you've got extra batteries and or memory cards with you, just in case you start just clicking away out there, because some of the sunsets are just out of this world. And you never know, you might be out on the balcony or out on deck and see dolphins or flying fish or something like that. So there's always photo ops, and you don't want to get caught with a full memory card or run out of battery and not being able to do anything about it. The store on board Carnival does carry batteries. They carry um, pain medication and things like that, but they're not open 24/7. So when you're in port, those stores are not open. So you either have to get off the ship to go get something or bring your own. So um, also, I tell everybody to invest in a small underwater camera, like a GoPro type camera, either a GoPro or one of the knockoffs. Um, that has been a lifesaver for us on different excursions going up Dunn's River Falls. I had the attachment to put the camera on my head, and we captured a lot of Dunn's River going up the falls. We captured all kinds of fish and sharks and rays and that type thing when we were uh, doing some excursions. So that is an invaluable tool. I even set my wife up. We went down one of the slides, and I had her put the camera on and go down the slide. Um, so that was deck 15. So she slid down a 5-story slide with this thing on her head. So it was kind of cool to see. Um, we always go with backpack as well. We pack backpack gets packed with our important papers and snacks. There we go. Small little backpack. I bought these on Amazon, I guess after our second cruise. Not any big deal, but it's just big enough to hold our main priority, which is our water bottles, insulated water bottles. Um, on board the ship, you have very small cups they give you for um, the different drinks that you have on board. The what I call the five main drinks: water, unsweet tea, coffee, lemonade, and hot chocolate. And they give you these little tiny cups to, well, I call them tiny cups. They're not as big as a water bottle, but they give you these small cups to drink out of. And by the time you put a little bit of ice in there and let it get cold, there's not much room for liquid in there. So we take the water bottles, go to the water station, put some ice in there, and then we also take some of the Mia or Mio um, flavored flavored water products to put in there, like um, fruit punch or um, cherry, or whatever flavors we happen to want at the time. That also comes into play where we'll take our water bottles and fill those up, put those in our backpacks when we go on an excursion, because you never know when you're going to be able to have a drink on the excursion. It may be a couple of hours into it, it may be 2 or 3 hours. Something may happen, and it may be that for the entire excursion, that's all the drink that you get. So it's a good idea to do that as well. Um, let's see. We also carry on in our rolling backpack, or our rolling duffel, towel clips. These can be used for all kinds of different things, one being clothespins. You do have a retractable clothesline in the shower, in the bathroom on Carnival cruises. You can use these towel clips as clothespins. You can also take them out with you when you go sit on the deck, when you put your towel across the chair to keep your towel from blowing away. It's remarkable that, a lot of people don't realize ships do top speed of about 20 to 23 knots, and then you can have a breeze that's going against you, and you've got quite a lot of wind there. So having your towel blow off the chair happens more often than not. So with the towel clips, that keeps that in check for you. We also carry suction cups that have little hooks on them. So if you want to put something on your door, you want to hang something up on the inside of the cabin, on the walls, there's all kinds of different things that you can do with those. We normally will use those to decorate our doors. For Christmas, we'll take battery operated lights in the suction cups and put it around the outside of the door and have our lights going and that kind of thing. Switching papers here. On Carnival, getting first day and getting on, you are allowed to take on canned beverages and one bottle of wine per person over 21. Let me explain that. You can take one bottle of up to 750 milliliters of wine per person over 21, and you can take up to a 12-pack of soda, Dr. Pepper, whatever your choice is. And this is your standard 750 milliliter size here. Not the great big ones, but the smaller ones. You can take a 12-pack of soft drinks on. That kind of helps alleviate some of the buying of sodas during the cruise. You can also, they do have different packages on board that you can buy. You've got drink packages that you can get for, they call theirs Bubbles, which is the soda package. It's basically unlimited soda for the life of the cruise. And you get your drinks at the bar, or if you're at one of the events at the theater or a comedy club, you can get the wait staff, show them your card that has the sticker on it, and they will actually verify that you're good for free soda, and they'll go get you whatever flavor they have that you want. And that runs about 50 some odd dollars for a 7-day cruise. Maybe it's between $50 and $60. And that's, like I say, unlimited soda. They also have the Cheers package, which is, it used to be almost unlimited alcohol. It depends on what your definition of unlimited alcohol is. They right now, as of October 2021, their policy is you can not have any more than 15 alcoholic drinks per person per day over the age of 21. So that's 15 tequila sunrises, or 15 hurricanes, or 15 beers, or 15 glasses of wine, or 15 shots. However you want to order it, 15 is the limit. That also allows you, though, with that package, to have unlimited, which I don't think there is a limit on these things, the specialty fruit drinks, specialty coffees, and milkshakes. So you can go down to the coffee bar, which they've got things, it's almost like a Starbucks. You can go down there and get different types of coffees and ice creams and that kind of thing. get your shakes and everything. The caveat with the Cheers package is if one person in the cabin buys it, the entire population of the cabin over 21 has to also buy the package. And it is 50 some odd dollars per person per day for the length of the cruise. So that can get quite expensive if you don't drink that much. If you are drinking 15 hurricanes in a day and you want to pay for those, I think the starting for a mixed drink on Carnival is $8.99 plus 18% gratuity is the standard fee. If you get that while you are docked in port, you have to pay taxes on that as well. So you just have to kind of watch yourself when you're drinking, if you're paying by the drink. The other caveat to the Cheers package is if you're going out of Texas, the Cheers package doesn't start until the second day because of the rules of TABC in Texas. They don't allow any type of free drink packages, which is, they consider this a free drink package. They don't allow that, so you have to wait until you're at least 12 miles out in order to start it. So Carnival just decided they were going to start it on the second day. So that is that part. One of the other things that is really important to know is your sail and sign card, which is your who you are and where you are at all times card. It is your door key. It is your charge key. It's basically your life in a card. That's how you pay for different things on the ship. That's how you check in and check out. When you're leaving the ship, you have to card out, and then when you're coming back on board, you have to verify who you are with your sail and sign card. They take your picture when you first board to have that on file so that when they swipe the card, when security swipes it, they actually see your face when they swipe the card, so they know it's actually you. When you're leaving the ship, they match your face to the person to verify that it's actually you leaving the ship, as well as when you get back on. When you leave or when you're getting back on, sometimes security at the port will make you show your your ID as well as your sail and sign card. So we take our license or we always travel with passports. We take our passports and our sail and sign, and that way we're for sure we get back on the ship. And always, 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 always underline always, italicize it, put it in quotes, bold it, put it in parentheses, whatever. Always stay on ship time. There are some people that rely on their phones for a watch, and once they get into port, they will turn their phones back off airplane mode. It syncs up with the local time. Then local time and ship time is not, a lot of times it's not the same. So you're rushing around trying to get back to the ship. You're thinking you've still got a couple hours, and you get back there and there's no ship. So it's very, very important. They will always tell you on board, you always go by ship time, no matter where you are. It's ship time, even if you cross over into a different time zone. You cross multiple time zones. Whenever you get off that ship, when they tell you 4:30 is when it leaves, it's 4:30 ship time, not 4:30 local time. So unless you want to be sitting on the dock with the nice stuff that you just bought at the port and no ship to come back home to, and also be on time. If they say 4:30, they are throwing the ropes off at 4:30. If they've already cast the ropes off, I've only heard of one time where they actually came back to the port. They were about 10 or 12 feet, had pulled out about that far, and they actually backed up and put the gangway back out for somebody to get back on. That is unheard of in the cruise industry. Once they've cast all the lines off, and even if you're running toward the ship, once that last line is cast off, you are not getting on. So you can try to jump for it, you can try to do all kinds of things, but they're not letting you on. So um, another thing with the sail and sign card, since it is your mode of paying for things, when you get on board, you've done one of two things. You've either chosen to secure that sail and sign card with a credit or debit card, or you're going to secure it with cash. If you secure it with cash, you have to wait until you get on board, take enough cash with you. You don't want to use that ATM on board because they charge you a huge fee. Plus, then your bank is going to charge you a huge fee. So you'd want to take your cash on with you. Then you make your first stop is to go to customer service and set up your onboard account. And basically, what that entails is you decide how much you want to spend while on board, hand them that much cash, say, as an example, $200 is your limit. You hand them $200, they put that on your account, and now your sail and sign card for that room is cards for multiple people in the rooms. Um, that card is allowed to charge up to $200. Once you hit that, you're no longer allowed to charge. You have to go back downstairs, give them more cash in order to continue charging. If you have a credit or debit card holding that, you're basically at the mercy of whatever you spend. You have to keep up with that. If you're using a debit card, very important, the debit card, once they pull away from the dock, they're going to charge, or they're not going to charge yet, they're going to put a hold on your debit card equal to $200. Once you have hit that $200 mark on that debit card, then they will hit it again with another hold for an amount equal to what you just went over the 200 with. So if you went over $75, they're going to put a second hold for 75 on your account. And they will continue doing that for as much as you spend. And I don't know if they do it daily. They just said that it's done throughout the cruise. So if you end up with a total of say $500 on your account, the last day they will charge your debit card $500. But that is a charge now, and now you also will have $500 in holds on that card. Carnival releases those holds immediately, but your bank institution does not release them immediately in most cases. They will hold those for a couple of days. I've seen my institution hold it for about 4.5 days. So if I get off the ship on Sunday, I see the final thing roll off about 3:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. So you have to make sure that you've got enough money on that debit card to hold what you plan on spending plus the same amount for holds. If you do a credit card, you don't have to worry about that. So, and another thing with debit credit cards, we always have a secondary account that we have just for cruising that we can take our primary account, put money over on our debit card for just for travel. We travel with an actual Carnival. It's a Barclays card, but it's a Carnival card where we earn points for future cruises. But if the credit card doesn't work, we have a debit card that we've already called the bank and told them, hey, we're going to be out of the country. Here's where we're going. so it's not flagged and held up. We've used our debit card in all of the different ports that we've been to. So far, we've not had any problems whatsoever, even, converting pesos to American dollars. It just looks really funny. It looks like you're going to get charged a lot, but everybody has always been on the up and up with everything. Um, you also want to make sure that you have small bills with you, just for traveling cash, for tipping. On board Carnival, you have the gratuities, um, which we normally will prepay the gratuities. It's 12 something per person per day for the gratuities. And um, basically, that's comes out to be, I can't do the math in my head, but I think it's around $200 um, for two people for a 7-day cruise. So if you want to prepay that, that's great. That way you don't have to put it on your Sail and Sign card, and you can go ahead and um, get that out of the way. If you want to wait until you get on the ship, you can. And there are some people that do take the gratuities off at the end of the cruise, so they don't actually charge you for them until the next to the last night. So it kind of is a surprise if you're not planning for it. But we take cash over and above. Um, our room stewards have been so good to us. We've asked, they'll ask, do you want it, want your room refreshed once a day, or in the morning or in the evening? And now with COVID, it's a choice of either morning or evening, and they used to have the choice pre-COVID of morning or evening or both, and we would always select both. We had one room steward that refreshed our room at a minimum of 5 to 6 times per day. Every single time we left, we never saw her refreshing it, but we'd get back and the bed would be made up. Um, the toilet paper's got the little triangle on it. She was just like a little magical elf, just sneaking in there and doing things. Um, when I see that kind of thing, I tip, them over and above. Our wait staff in the main dining room, they normally get extra tips from us. The porters that are handling your baggage, and when you go on excursions, we'll tip the bus drivers and or the you know taxis, or whatever it is that we're using. Um, when One of the other big things that you want to make sure of when you're traveling to the port, I know I'm going long on this, but there's a lot of important things to cover. When you are traveling to the port, always, well, it's your vacation, you know how much time you have, but I would always recommend going to the port the day before. There are a lot of people that want to fly in the same day, they want to drive in. We've seen people from, you know, um, Tulsa, Oklahoma, up in St. Louis or somewhere in Missouri, where we're just going to drive to Galveston. We're just going to drive in and make it one straight shot. We're going to leave, 10 o'clock, the night before, and we're going to get there just in the nick of time. When you've got $1,200 or $1,500 or more riding on a cruise, you don't want to get stuck in a traffic jam and miss the ship. You don't want to have a flat tire or something along those lines. Always go the day before if you can get away with it. And on your return, if you're trying to fly back out the day you get back into port, always make that a late afternoon flight, because by the time you get out of the port get back to the, get all your luggage together, get to your airport and go through security and all that. An hour to an hour and a half travel time from uh, Galveston Port to Houston International is just not enough time to try to do that. So, um, also, we've cruised out of Galveston and New Orleans. Um, Galveston, we always will, we drive down from Northeast Texas. Um, we always will go down, spend the night. First thing in the morning, we'll go get a bite to eat, and then we'll go drop our luggage off. And after we drop the luggage off with the porters, we'll go find a place to park. We usually park right at the port over in Lot B. Um, Drop your luggage off and just have what you're going to carry on with you. Go park your car, get in the shuttle bus, and then travel over to the port. It's much, much easier than trying to carry all of your luggage with you on the shuttle bus. That bus holds 15 or 20 people, and if everybody is bringing all of their luggage, it's only going to hold 4 or 5 people. So um, it's a good tip there. Um, Also, budgeting for the cruise. Um, we are budget friendly. We've cruised with inside room, with um, a deluxe ocean view room. We've done a balcony room. We've done a forward facing room with an obstructed view. We've done spa balcony rooms. It all depends on your particular vacation that you want. If you're the type that wants to get on board and spend lots of time in the room and do a couple of things, but just more have a relaxing, I'm going to stay in the room and watch the water and that kind of thing, a larger balcony room or maybe a junior suite or a suite may be the thing for you. You just have to kind of plan those things out. For us, an inside room with no windows is the cheapest way to go. It's been one of the best sleep experiences we've ever had. We had a first floor or deck one inside room on mine and Jill's first cruise, and I'm telling you, it's so dark you can't see your hand in front of your face when you turn the lights out. And you get down there, it's nice and cool. You don't have to worry about lots of heat. You turn the air down low, get under your down comforter, and just it'll rock you to sleep down there. And it is just some awesome sleep. Um, but no matter which way you go, if you've got an inside room and you like to get out and about, don't worry about the size of the room or um, the lack of space, because most of the time we're in our room to sleep and or take a small nap or get ready to go out for the night, um, or just to change clothes. We don't spend a whole lot of time in there. We may spend an hour, maybe an hour a day in the room resting or relaxing a little bit, but most of the time we're out and about. But you want to budget what you're going to spend based on whether or not you're going to do any drinking, alcohol or sodas on board that would require, sail and sign card purchases, any excursions that you plan to take, um, and picture packages. Or I say picture packages. They don't necessarily have packages anymore. It's basically you have the ability to buy 8x10s and 5x7 pictures, and the 8x10s are between $20 and $22 a piece. There's no sitting fee. Go get dressed up, go take as many pictures as you want to have taken, and then you decide whether you want to keep the pictures. If you do, you can, they're more than ready to charge you for them. We've got pictures all over the house that we've had done over the cruises that we've done. Um, but the main thing is have fun, enjoy yourself. There's more than enough to keep you busy. There's more than enough food to keep you stuffed and stuff some more. Most of the places to eat on board are free. There are a handful of places that charge. You'll know that when you walk up to those or go in the restaurant. And the main dining room, I haven't mentioned that yet. The main dining room, they've got two different rooms, or most ships have at least two different dining rooms, one for anytime dining and one for scheduled dining. The scheduled is what we like to do, where we have assigned seating and an assigned time, either early or late dining. We prefer now the early dining so we can go scarf down the food and don't have to worry about going to bed on a full stomach, absolutely full stomach. Dining times are 6 p.m. and 8:15 p.m. The anytime dining, you go in, it's basically just like a land-based restaurant. You go in, say how many is in your party, they seat that many people, they take your order. Unless you ask for a specific server, you may or may not have the same server every night. With assigned seating, you have the same wait staff every single night. The nice thing about that is after the first night, they know your first and last name. They know what types of drinks you like, what type of bread you like, what type of desserts you like. If they see you in the hallway or they see you somewhere on the ship, they greet you by name. It's just an amazing experience, we think. And they are still seating people. If you want to do this, you can still go in and sit with other people at the same table and get to know them. It's a really cool way to meet people. I'm still friends with on Facebook with the first couple that I met on board in November of 2014. So, and we've also learned some of our wait staff, ones from 2018, we're friends on Facebook with them. So it's just a really cool overall experience. Also in the main dining room, they'll, take your order. You can have as many of the appetizers, entrees, desserts as you want. If it is lobster night and you're doing lobster tail, if you want 10 lobster tails, you tell them, I want 10 of these, and they will bring you 10 lobster tails. If you want, three different appetizers, you can have one of every appetizer they have. You can have 12 appetizers if you want. They just ask that you eat everything that if you order something like that, that you eat it all. That's basically what I've got here. So, winding it down, and I guess we can open it up for questions at this point.
Lonnie, you got any questions?
No, that was pretty thorough.
Well, I tried to hit as much as I could.
You did a good job. You did. I mean,
You did a
you
really
had
good
a whole
job.
lot of information there. Whole lot. Some stuff even though I've been planning for this trip, I didn't know about the birth certificate thing yet. So luckily, I got that. We're covered there because we just got our passports. Now, let me ask you this: if you got a passport, will your driver's license and passport work, or do you still need that birth certificate?
Oh, no, if you've got a passport, then you don't have to have a birth certificate.
Okay.
So passport trumps all of that other stuff. So all you have to have is basically your passport and your boarding pass, and you're good to go.
Okay.
I do have I do have one question. When you were saying that there is this series of drinks that are available, are those available 24 hours a day? The juices and teas and whatnot?
Yes, yes, there
Okay.
are drink stations in um, on the main Lido deck for Carnival. It's called Lido, and it depends on what ship it is as to what deck that actually is. On the Conquest class, it's deck 9. On the Dream class, it's deck 10. I'm not sure on um, the Panorama class with Vista. Um, I'm not sure what deck it is on there. It may be 11, but uh, down at the uh, where they have all of the buffets, that was something that I did not mention. They've got buffets and all kinds of food besides the main dining room, but they have those drink stations available. They're they're not all available all the time. Like one station may be closed for cleaning, so you have to go to the next station. But if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you want a glass of unsweet tea, you can go down there and get it. You can call room service and they'll bring you. Well, I take that back. They're not open at. They used to be open 24/7. They're not open now. They close it at. I think they close at 10 o'clock.
And you once again you recommended bringing a larger vessel for for applications like that.
Say that one more time.
A larger vessel or water bottle or something for applications like that. Yes.
Yes, I would recommend water bottle. Like I was saying, um, this is this is what we take. This compared to
Okay.
so um, and once you put ice in that, I'll love to. I'm a drinking person. I love to drink water or whatever it is, water, Dr. Pepper. Um, but it takes a while for me to down one of those waters. You can bring Yeti cups on. I mean, they don't really mind what you bring on. It's how you fill the cup. What you have to do is take their little tiny cup because of sanitary reasons. They don't want you to put your cup under there to get the water or tea or whatever. I want you to take the water and tea and put it in a little tiny cup and then fill your bottle up and then put your cup up there to the spout and fill up the cup. So um, sometimes, there's a line at that particular drink station. So I may only fill my water bottle up halfway or maybe just put ice in it and then let somebody else go and then, put some water in it or whatever. In the mornings for breakfast, they normally will have apple juice, orange juice, and a guava juice, as well as white milk and chocolate milk. So, and they also have coffee that's 24/7 and hot chocolate. The hot chocolate is really, really good. Um,
You mentioned earlier the mixed drinks usually run about $8 a pop. What does the beer run?
I really don't know.
Oh,
I think it's in the neighborhood of like maybe $7 a bottle.
okay.
Uh, Relatively expensive for beer, from what I understand. Um, but on certain ships, you can go to the Red Frog Pub, and they have different beer specials that you can get. You can buy it by the pitcher and all of that. Since I'm not a beer person, I can't really accurately
Okay.
answer that. You
Uh,
can,
the check-in process, how long does that take?
um, pre-COVID is all I can answer on this. Um, the way it was working is you show up at your designated time that's on your boarding pass. Say ours is 10:30 to 11. I can show up at 10:30 and actually get through the doors to start the process. What they'll normally do is check that boarding pass at the door to verify that it is, it's got your name on it and, the correct time, and that you're not there trying to, yours doesn't say 1 o'clock and it's, trying to get in there at 10:30. They let you in the door, then your next stop is verifying your documents, which is verifying your passport and or birth certificate and license with your boarding card or your boarding paperwork. What they will do is go through that process, verify you. Once you're verified there, then you go through security, which you put all, just like going to an airport, you put all your stuff on the conveyor belt, go through the metal detector, get your stuff on the other side. If you have brought on wine and or soft drinks, they'll flag you to stop at the next station where they will open up. If you've got a 12-pack of cans, you cannot bring any bottles on except for wine, and that have to be completely sealed, factory sealed. They will open up most of the time, they'll open up your 12-pack of cans to verify you didn't put anything you're not supposed to have in there. And they'll let you tape that back up or give it back to you. You can put that back in your carry-on. You declare your wine at that point, and after they say you're good to go, you walk into the next little room, or actually big room, and you're basically in queue to get on the ship right there. What they'll do is, if it's 10:30, well, that is also pre-first cruise. They may have you go over, if it's your first cruise, once you get in that area, then you have to go over and fill out your paperwork of what your room number is. They capture all the information for your sail and sign card. Take your picture and that kind of thing for that. Then after you do that particular part, then you're good to go and sit down and wait. They normally don't let people on until after 11. It's usually, if everything works right, they let you on at about 5 after 11. They let on wedding parties, and then diamond and platinum, and then from there, anybody that has special needs, wheelchairs and that kind of thing. And then directly after that is faster to the fun. Since there's not faster to the fun now during COVID, it'll be just general boarding, and they say, here you go, everybody else. And you basically all make a line, and they scan your boarding pass to go up the gangway. And then once you get in, they scan you one more time to welcome you onto the ship, and then you're ready to head in. Now with COVID, that I'm not sure where in that process they will be checking your test to verify that yes, you have been vaccinated, and yes, here's my negative test. I would assume it would be at that very first station where they're verifying your passport and everything, or your passport / birth certificate and license.
Okay, well, we're just about out of time here. If you want to see some more, if you want to, Michael and his wife, they have a whole YouTube channel where they have many videos, and it's about the different things you talked about. A lot of the ports, the different ports. You just go to YouTube and look for M&J Travel Adventures. I'm also going to put a link onto the Cool Harbors page, and also the Cool Harbors group to those. So if you want to see some more from Michael, there's where you can do it. Man, I just appreciate everybody's. Michael, really do appreciate you giving us your time tonight, and
Anytime, sir.
we hope to see everybody safe and on a cruise.
Yes.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.